Yeah, everyone. We're gonna do a short presentation here, kind of adding on to the medicine wheel. And I'm here with Roger. It's Sunday, and
Okay. Hello, everybody. This is probably shouldn't be more than like 10 or 15 minutes at the most, but it's probably the most important part because if there's anybody out there that knows how to do math and know how to count and all that good stuff. Well, here, Colleen, look over here
okay.
on my little paper here. We started out with my little things on the whole things about 28, and then, times 13, 364. And then 91 times 4 makes 364, which is this number right here. 91 for spring, 91 for south, 91 for west, 91 for north. Okay, now you're probably wondering, what is this? Okay, I'll just be honest with you. If you take 91, and I'll put it over
I
here.
think you have it down here. Is that what you want to do?
Oh, 91's over there, but it's not what I want.
Oh, okay.
If you take that 91, 1, 2, 3, 4 times 4 gives you 364. I'm going to ask Colleen a tricky question. How many days are there in a year?
In a solar year, 365, but a year would be dividing 364 if you divide up the year into 4 seasons of 91 days.
But the actual year count, which one is it?
For the year count? Oh,
The actual year count, not the one that you're talking about here. The actual year count.
for 52 years.
No,
Is
the
that
actual year count.
what?
It's called 365.25.
Hello.
The
Yes,
year
yes. I
count.
get you. Okay.
1
Because
year.
every 4 years there's a leap day.
There is a
Got
year
it.
count. That's what I'm trying to talk about.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking of
Year
the
count.
Aztec year count calendar.
Actual was the key word, if you would listen to me.
Well, I don't know. The question is a
Yeah,
little.
but you've been at the Lord too long. But anyway, 365 1/4 is the actual year count, what I was trying to get her to say. 365 was close, but she was missing the 0.25, which is that for leap year is what we do in the modern world. So you're wondering, I mentioned in the last one that no, they didn't add 13 years at the end of a 52-year cycle like they do with the 260-year sacred calendar. No, they didn't have to deal with 5 unlucky days and make it 360 like they do in the Maya Ketan count to make it all come out and work out. No, they didn't have to do that. It's true. But what they did do is at the beginning, which is, I think, is a genius way of doing this, rather than adding it at the end like the other guys had to wait 52 years to add 13 days. They had those figure out how to accumulate those 5 unlucky days, and it takes years and years for that. These people that did the medicine wheel, they were geniuses. They didn't even have to deal with it at the end. They dealt with it at the beginning.
Okay.
At the very start. Okay, now I'm going to explain. 364 is a mathematical layout for everything here for it to work. But 13 and 28, I agree with that. But in order for make the year count really work, you have to make 365 1/4 day to make it all lay out. So if you use 364, it's not going to come out to what this is. So how did the ancients deal with this? I will show you. It's really ingenious. You see that 91 again? They took that 91 Bloop. And then what they did was they added 3, 1 to it. So now every time you went from the beginning when you started here, now this 91 is 91.31. 91.31. 91.31. See what I'm doing with it now? 91.31. Why? 91.31 times the 4 seasons, 0, 0. My big fancy calculator. 91, there it is, 0.31, that number right there, times 4 for the 4 seasons, times 4 equals 365.24 days. This is that.
Okay.
So every time they went around to a season, it was 91.31. 91.31. See, like, show you, like, 91.31 plus 91.31. And let's see here. 91.31 plus back adding it to itself. What? The first time. 182.62 plus adding it back to itself again. Let's see what that was. 91, did I say? Okay, where is it? 91.31. That's 273.93. Now watch this. 273.93. And now you add the last season, 31 again, plus 91.31 equals the full year, the actual year. I think ours is off by a second because ours say it's at 24. Modern is at saying 25, and I think modern is off because this is all correlated to what I'm doing with this research here. Modern man doesn't even have pyrite, so I don't even have to worry about it anyway. So no biggie. But there's how they did the 365 using the 91.31 number right here, which is what I'm showing, and utilizing it by the seasons. But how did they add it in? That means at the end of the season, they had to balance this all out in order for this all to come to an end and to coming to zero as a new starting point for a new year. It's really simple. These numbers are showed right here as they accumulate to this 273 that I showed right here, which comes down to that that last actual number, which is the 365.24. As they get, let's say we started here, and we went 1, and you went 2, and you went 3, and now we're getting ready to, well, I forgot this is Indigenous New Year's over here. But anyway, what I was going to say is that as it's going back to itself, you just add these numbers as the seasons go by. But when it comes down to the last season on there, where it's going to make it to the 365.24, and where it comes to where you needed to add the day that they add, and Colleen will be surprised on this. is November 13th. Why November 13th? When all the other days go by, and this is the day when the Pleiades is directly overhead, which is beginning to sign for the beginning of the next indigenous new year. November 13th itself was the added day to make it. The number 365.24. Why? When it came to this date, that was when you added the 91.31, which makes it 365.24. And what you did is you didn't count November 13th, but it was added at the beginning. See what I mean? One day was added at the beginning, but it wasn't counted. Why? Because November 14th was officially the beginning of the new year. And so on the day before, you didn't count it in there, but you did add the 1.31 day on November 13th. So you come out to 365.24. Or, like I pulled Colleen, the actual year count. 365.24. Yeah. And November 13th was added to it, but it wasn't really actually counted, but it was added. So you could add that 1.31 day to it and bring everything to a complete year. And it was a tight little package. And then when the Pleiades was directly overhead, that stated that was the end of the entire year, where you added that 1.31 day to it, which makes it 365.24. So by the time the Venus rises the next morning, it's the very beginning of the next indigenous new year, November 14th. Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
Well, so this is the first time Raj has explained this to me, so I'm just trying to absorb it right now.
That's why I was throwing you curves left and right. But it was fun watching you dodge the curves. Because there is a lot to this, but I needed to explain this because somebody's going to eventually come up and say, wait, it says 364, but how do you get 365.25? You know, someone's going to know how to count.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something. And even on the 260-day calendar, there's the, it's accounted for in there as well.
Yeah, but you have to wait for 50 doggone 2 years.
52 years.
These guys do it at the beginning, and and while it's happening, it's fresh on the memory. It's not, we got 51 more years to wait, Colleen.
Oh yeah, because then it would be easy to forget. That's like that's like an appointment.
When you can
that
do
you
it
set 52
now.
years.
Yeah. And then add it, and then start the year.
Yeah.
Then you have to forget in 52 years. Well, are we supposed to do something in 52 years? Oh, well, I forgot what it was. Do it at the beginning. You don't space it out that way. I mean, it's ingenious.
So this is almost like adding like a third, and because 0.31 is almost like a third. So it's like adding a third of a day, third of a day, third of a day. And then here you said that's where they observe the, or at this, so at the 91 you add the third of the day, you observe the third, that's part of your calculations.
It works with the seasons too.
So that the third of a day, so right there, those add to 1 day, but that's not observed until the end.
It's almost like there's a little,
because then it's a day. It's 0.3, like you said.
It's like this is in half. This is observed. I'll put an O here.
Okay.
And then,
I see.
Then this is added.
It's observed there.
And then this is added.
Oh, okay.
See, if that makes any sense now.
I see.
And
so there's a third of a day that is part of this. There's a third of a day that is part of this 91 days. So that's one season. So right there is your full day that is being observed. And then the last third that you're going to observe during the fourth quarter, that's actually observed here when the Pleiades is directly overhead. So it's a day plus a third.
And that's when you add that 1.31 on November 13th, 1.31 day.
Okay.
And then it comes out to that 364.24. And then that's how they did their count on the medicine wheel for year after year. After they did all of that, then it starts all over again. Then it's a day. And it starts beginning. Oh, it starts all over again.
And people, for those who are just joining and seeing this video and you haven't seen any of the previous videos, 91 days is basically the 0.31 is basically the duration of a season, and then a season and a season and
Right
then
here.
another season right here.
It's right here. 91,
Oh, yes.
364 days right there.
Okay.
28 spokes times 13 is also 364 days, which adds up there. And then 7 spokes, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 spoke equals 91 days too. You're all 91.
Okay, so that's when you're using the spokes to count 13 days. So you can look at the medicine wheel and you can say, all right, between this stone and that stone, that could be counted as 13 days. And so 13 times 7 is equal to 91.
See, that rock equals 13, that rock equals 26, that equals 39, that equals 52, that equals 65, 78. But at the same time, between the two rocks, it also equals 1 day, it equals 2 days of the sunrise, 3 days of the sunrise, 4 days of the sunrise. See how I'm doing it?
Yeah.
That each day,
So your medicine wheel can be used
daily as well as
for a 1 by 1 day count or for a 13-day count, which will take you through to a season from there to there.
You count between the rocks to count the days, and you count the rocks to count the cycles. Okay. Oh, except for the equinox. The equinox are the only ones where the two rocks are exactly.
Right.
But other than that.
And that's because this marks the equinox. So when the sun rises over here, then, and the sun sets over here, that's your like marker, because you can sit here and look to make sure that the sun is actually lining up here with your shadow. And the same over here. So someone could put up like a little stick to see where the sun is rising and setting, and you can look at the shadow of that.
So basically, the like I did with
equal
here,
day, equal night.
Let's say that they go, this is 28 days, and let's say it went around 13 times, blah, 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 because you do. So, also on the 12th time, and you're getting ready to go around on the 13th, and you're coming all the way around, and you're getting ready to come around in here. And what you do is you get right here, and where it says O, that's the 364. Where that A is, that's where you add the 1.31 day to the add. And then you start your all over again.
Okay. And on this day, this star here is also when the Pleiades rises as morning star.
Yeah.
I mean, not Pleiades, excuse me.
The
Venus,
Pleiades is directly overhead because it's an annular star that comes every year to that very spot religiously forever. But only on that one particular day is the Venus rising on this very first day as the morning star. See, the 8-year count of the rocks on here for the 8-year cycle, all of that is tied to that.
Okay, so that's another count that Roger's talking about. So I would say if you have questions about that, watch. Was it the previous video? I forget, because we did 2 previous videos. So one of them, I think it's the first one. You talk about Venus's cycle and how to count that with the medicine wheel.
It's the 365 times 8.
Oh, yes. So the...
then you go that 365 times
so 8 every 8...
equals 2,920.
Right.
Divided by a Venus orbit, 584. Okay. Divided by 584 equals 5.
So
8 to 5 Earth to Venus ratio. 8
so
to 5.
8 Earth years to 5 Venus years.
And that's what this
That's
rocks.
the ratio.
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See?
And then that's where
1,
Venus
2,
rises
3,
as
4,
morning
5,
star
6,
again.
7, 8.
And Raj also brought out the Aztec the year count calendar, and he with that has the Gregorian calendar on it. So what was really interesting was that when Venus rises as morning star every 8 years, those always landed on reed years. So 1 reed and
5 reed, 10 reed.
Yeah.
And so forth. That never hits it. If you hit another sign, then you're doing something wrong. It has to be a reed because the reed is
The
a
reed
sign
year.
for the morning star rising on the sacred calendar.
And the year count calendar for the Aztecs that has a pattern of reed, flint, house rabbit, and it goes for 52 years. It's just the numbering that changes. Okay.
So I hope I make it 365.24 to actually make the entire actual year actually as it is. Because a lot of time it is confusing when I'm using 364, which is the mathematical layout, or sometimes when I'm just used only 365 as the basic number. But the reality is that to 365.25, which I still think modern man is off because they're stupid pi, when the real number is really 365.24 is the actual year count. Not the Gregorian we're using today, the one that they were using.
And all of this has come from an indigenous paradigm, completely indigenous paradigm. And starting even with the Mesoamerican 26 divided by 16, which is the Zia symbol.
Mm-hmm.
So the 13 times 2 is the...
That's the Mesoamerican, the influence. 16 is the spokes in the Zia symbol here in New Mexico, which equals the golden mean ratio. And then times 2 gives you the real number for the actual pi. And the actual pi is the one that modern man should be using today. I mean, I don't know why we're idiots that we are as native people. We're listening to people that don't even have their pi right yet. And I'm supposed to be the savage over here, And I couldn't invent the wheel, remember?
So this number that you come up with is called a rational number.
It's the real pi.
But the other pi, the 3.14, so on and so forth, that is called an irrational number because it actually goes off into infinity.
Well, point that camera at me one more last time. My pi challenge. Can somebody still show me what your use for the modern pi is yet? I did about 5 presentations on how I used, how we used our 3.25 pi.
As native people, we used it to basically establish a global trade network, and there are cities and petroglyphs and pictographs lined up in the Americas, but also around the world, sacred ancient cities that you can find using 3.25 and the number 13 to figure out where the latitude and longitude is. And that is what a lot of this channel covers. When you see Roger covering like global mapping stuff, like the Hawaiian compass and other things like that.
Even the Hindu wheel of India is based on the same thing with 8 and 16. But here's my pi challenge. It's in the quick apartments below in the comments. Show me how you use your modern pi for anything that has to do with daily use or for any kind of use whatsoever with the technology like I have shown with what we're doing with our 3.25. And it's my pi challenge to modern man to see how smart you smart monkeys really are. And if you do come up with any kind of answer and all that, you can put your comments in the cricket department below on the comments because I know there's going to be nothing there. Okay, that's it.
So
crickets.
This is the medicine wheel. The template comes from the Bighorn medicine wheel at Wyoming. Roger looked at the research and then whited out the information that was incorrect and kept the template and then put this information on here.
I redid the whole thing. I redid all of the work. basically I took everything off because it was all wrong, and everything you see on here is my own work that I put on top of it. Like Colleen said, all I left was the template was just the black and white, that circle, not that square, just a circle, just these little lines, and just the spokes was all that I left. Everything I added after because I needed to correct the misinformation, the disinformation.
Well,
I mean, this is coming from archaeologists, for God's sakes. I mean, we're talking about BYU, you know, the Mormons are in, I trust them with our culture, you know.
Okay, so again,
that was funny.
so even with this information, Roger has been able to
look at like the man in the maze, which most people think is like a pretty design, and you'll see it on car stickers. But in reality, it's a layout of the Hujut Empire. And so if you square it, meaning you take it from round to being more square, and then you use 13 and 3.25, you can actually find the layout for the Hujut Empire, which is the, I guess Hujut is the Tohono O'odham word for
lizard.
Lizard. Yeah,
And,
and it also explains the 7 caves in the.
Before you go any further, I wanted to explain about the Hujut guy over there.
Yeah. Oh,
people might be familiar with it by another name, and they know it all the way went to Asia. And I'm going to want to demystify one last thing. The Hujut man over there is also known by another name called Squatter Man. It's the internet. Everybody would know that name.
Okay.
Nobody would know the Hujut Empire like we do, but it's the same symbol. If you find this symbol in Asia, they're talking about this place in America here.
Oh.
See where I'm going?
Okay.
So those petroglyphs that they're finding of the Squatter Man all over the world are referring to here.
Okay.
Regardless of what the white man thinks or believes.
So the Hujut Empire basically goes all the way down to Teotihuacan. Let me know if I'm saying things wrong. If I'm saying things
Empire
wrong.
Goes to Nogales.
Oh, Nogales. All right, there was sorry. And then the empire. I'm so sorry. There's a lot of information. And then right above that is the
31 degrees latitude.
Yes, right above that is the circular design, which also talks about a different trade network in the Northwest Coast. So you can use these to actually kind of see the trade networks for the different parts of
I'm going to just demystify petroglyphs for all you Americans out there. When you're going down the interstate and you're a trucker and you need to deliver, how do you know, besides on a map, how do you know where to turn off and what exit to go off of? You read the road signs. Turn left to go here, turn right to go there, go this many miles to go this way to go that way. No big problem with it. So, okay, I'm going to demystify petroglyphs. It's no different than that, except the truckers didn't have trucks. They had burden baskets on their backs, but they used the same principle. And the petroglyph signs were the signs on the interstate, which we were telling you which exits to go off of, what ramps to go off of, which one to go left, which one to go right, which one goes here, which one goes over there.
How far?
Petroglyphs were basically our signs where to go while we're on the interstate
how to
do
find
trade.
Water, right? Oh, there's you can hunt for this type of animal over here.
No, you went there to find more material like gold, silver, and all of that. Hunting is important. Yeah,
well, the
get me
big
wrong,
major trading
but you
areas
don't need
definitely.
Global mapping to go find a deer in Mexico. You know, you want to go down there to sell your gold to make money.
Yes.
You're not gonna make money. You want to buy my deer? I could kill that in my backyard. Why would I want a deer if I got one already here? No, we need to think bigger outside of being savages and saying, well, yeah, we're hunter and gatherers. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
We need to look at the bigger picture that we were very intelligent people that did international global trade.
Yeah.
And that's what this is all set up for. This doesn't just work for America. It works for Asia, Europe, Africa, and all of the countries, including Australia and even the Polynesian islands. But we're just too smart to figure it out.
And you have said before that the emperor in China was also fluent in the Chinook jargon.
Well, we had to. We were going over there with our sweet potatoes to trade for their chickens. How are we going to trade, if we didn't have a way to communicate? I mean, we could stand and look at each other and maybe might read my mind. But we went a long way across the ocean from South America to bring these sweet potatoes all the way to the Chinese, let alone the tomatoes that we brought them.
Yeah.
And we liked their chickens, so, if you want to trade, then learn to nook. You want to trade with us seriously, then learn it fluently. There was a Chinese emperor that knew the Chinook jargon way in the 1800s, even before the white man even knew it existed. But hey, that's the history that, we know about. And then there's the white man's history, out there in Disneyland, the La La Land fantasy, Davy Crockett. And the whole world only started when Christopher Columbus landed, or some kind of nonsense like that.
Right.
We live over here in BC before Columbus.
Well, and so the previous, I want to say maybe it was 2 or 3, they're all starting to blur now. But recently, like in this past week, or at the very latest 2 weeks, we did post a video on how to look at the petroglyph. I think it was the last one that we posted. How to look at the petroglyphs, and Roger was able to identify exactly where the next petroglyph was that it was pointing out.
Well, remember I was telling you about they're like being on the interstate, and they tell you where to go and where you need to go?
Yes, and so it was telling latitudes and longitudes, and so you were able to locate.
The Hamet petroglyphs are telling you go to a petroglyph that's sitting down there in Acapulco, Mexico. They're connected by trade.
Yeah.
But it's petroglyph to petroglyph, no different than the Hamet petroglyph that's going across, to the other petroglyph that's going, to the McConkey petroglyph. Petroglyph to petroglyph. Petroglyph to petroglyph. I'm going to be honest with you. Archaeologists are overlooking one important thing. Petroglyphs are marking important spots by what they border and where they're located. I mean, in more ways than people can imagine.
Right.
I mean, I've located everything for what I'm talking about between the McConkey and the Hamet petroglyphs for trade routes. But I also located petroglyphs that locate ancient gold mines. That are bordered by 2 petroglyphs.
And you've also made straight line correlations between sacred cities and ancient trading spots, which all using 3.25 right here.
The real
and so that's where Roger's saying, can 3.14 find sacred cities? Can 3.14 help help with plotting the planetary cycles? Can 3.14
gave even our ancient longitudes away to modern man, but they're too smart to figure it out again. 3.25 times 2, 6.50. Nan Madal, Micronesia, one of our longitude lines. 3.25 times 4 makes 13.00 north. The longitude for Angkor Wat, Cambodia, Colleen's favorite place that she likes over there.
My favorite place that I've never been to.
3.25 times 6 makes 19.50. The longitude for Mumbai, India. And then 3.25 times 9 makes 29.25, which goes to Memphis, Egypt. Why Memphis, Egypt? Cairo wasn't even created yet when we were traded then. So we had to trade with the ancient capital of Egypt, which was Memphis, at 29.25.
And it goes to La Ferrasi Cave.
Which is on one of those ancient longitude lines. I'm giving you the ancient longitude lines, people.
It's crazy.
But you're too smart to figure it out. This is the guy that couldn't invent the wheel, remember? The wheel, look.
Sarcasm always goes over my head.
It can be a wheel that could be on a global scale. We're not savages out there, people. We have a culture, and we're trying to hold on to it while you're slowly trying to erase it with whiteout as we speak.
Oh, and speaking of whiteout,
I just want to say this week, the current administration has really been pushing for the national parks, making it inaccessible to the public, and also opening it up so that roads can now go into places that were there was a ruling that was taken down. So previously, so a lot of wildlife areas, they didn't allow roads, but now they're going to allow roads because they want to go in and get the resources. So this, I think, right here is now, it's really, really impinging on a lot of people's rights. Hunters, it's going to affect.
Bring it over here, Colleen.
It's going to affect a lot. Okay, so I think you need to start as a person. Just what's important to you. You know, think about it.
I want to address the American people on something that's really important. I keep stressing culture. And I keep saying it over and over, and culture has to do with every race in the world. But I want the American people to know something, that the white man does have a culture, but it's not here in America. You do have a culture. It's called the Picts. It's called the Scots. It's called the Basque. You know, it's called the Gauls. It's called the civilizations of Greek and all of those that were around the Mediterranean. The white man does have a culture because it has civilizations. America has none of that. America is just like a used car lot with an angry junkyard dog in it tied to a chain. It has no culture, and that's why it doesn't give a crap about our culture, because it doesn't have one itself. The white man has a culture, don't get me wrong. And the people that are holding on to it aren't in America. They're over in Europe. Your cousins have the culture that you have lost. You have no tie to this land until you love the land for what it is and not for what it can make you.
You're right.
Money. The land of a quick buck since 1492. That's the problem. Culturalist people are running this country, and they shouldn't even be running it, and they're trying to teach us our culture, and that's been my main complaint. How are we going to learn our culture from people that don't even know their own culture from Europe? All they know is their junkyard culture from the car lot here in America. Tell me, where has the white man civilization really sprung up in America? Tell me, show me. Show me, you know, your Romes here in America. Show me your Greek civilization here in America that sprung up. It don't exist. You build on top of us, and you put yourself on top of our ancestors' graves.
I just want to say, when people are talking about the golden age, I kind of think it's our president peeing in the wind into the sun and all over the American people and all over America. To me, that's
America's pissing on the world. Look at it right now. We're looking at it and complaining nationally. You think the people in the rest of the world are happy with what he's doing to the environment too? You think people in Europe are happy about? If I was a white guy, I'd be ashamed if I was in Europe about how the people are acting here. It's embarrassing. Say you're intelligent and then act like a complete fool. You know, maybe it is a used car lot. And who's running a used car lot salesman? I think they call it Mar-a-Lago.
Well, yeah, there's definitely
America's a used car lot
an
now.
elite group of selfish, egotistical people.
Would you buy a used country from this man? From the predatory elite that are, you know, being predators on the classes below it. But nobody wants to admit it about the predator or the elite.
Right.
So watch your kids, you know.
Yeah.
Next time you vote, don't vote in a child molester. Don't vote in a rapist. Keep the criminals out. If you're going to be a Christian, then fucking prove it. Sure not proving it now. If anything, man, doing the total opposite. You know, defending a child rapist. If we do that in a tribe, we'd get stoned to death.
Well, yeah.
No, it's true. You know,
yeah, I know.
you know I'm right, Colleen. I'm not sugarcoating it. I mean, we did this in a
Well,
native
it's been
community.
going on since 1492, but it's
No,
also been
we
going on
did it in our
before.
own communities. What we did.
No, I'm just saying the predatory nature of the
okay.
people who are running the system. That's
The
been going
predatory
on.
elite since 1492. That's been the problem.
Yeah.
Well, that's my
Right.
lecture. I did my little lesson. I'm off my soapbox.
Sorry.
Grandpa's done ranting.
Right. I just made that comment too because I just feel like, we really have to all watch out for our lands, the wild and the nature and wildlife. I think all of that is really important. The ecosystem, the water. I just saw a video about some guy who runs a data center, and he was saying, "I'm running a really efficient data center, and we're not using any water to run this data system. They're lying to you." And so I was like, "Wow." And I know that 20 years ago in Harper Magazine, there was an article about how water was the next gold, and it was going to be the next gold in 20 years. And so in other countries, they were already privatizing water and utilities like that so that they could make money off of it. And so now they're doing it to us in the United States. They're really, really targeting and trying to find ways, because if they can force people to not be able to live in certain areas and maintain control for the elite, it's just a bunch of
People just gotta learn not to shit and piss in the water that you gotta drink from.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all nice what she's saying over there, but the bottom line is, man, you shit and piss in the water, and then you pollute the land that we need to grow our food from, and then you're gonna blow it up with atomic weapons, then claim that you're intelligent and superior. Bull crap. Intelligent life does not destroy itself. That's why we got kicked out of the Star People Club. Oh, did I say that?
I know.
Don't say that.
I feel like probably other entities and other beings, multidimensional or alien or whatever, I think they're all pretty concerned with the human race right now.
It's like,
and
you know,
what
when
we're
you-
doing to Mother Earth.
You only go to Earth if you want to go get killed. It's like going to New York City. You only go to New York City to get killed.
Oh, brother.
No, you only go to Earth if you get killed. You know?
Right.
Why? They're all crazy down there. You know? And why you go down there and you say peace, they'll shoot you. You know, you can't even say that as a human. You say peace too loud in the Earth, they'll shoot you too.
I know, and
Don't
if
say peace. Why? We love war. We can make a lot of shitload of money off of it. Oh, well, but peace, you know, we might have a world for a little bit longer. Oh, they don't want to hear that. They'd rather blow it up with an atomic bomb and we all die and have an atomic winter that'll never end.
well, yeah.
Okay, so much for superior race, so much for intelligent people.
Well, I definitely
My
feel
ass.
like, that movie Idiocracy is a really good statement on society. And that really is, I think, even talking about now.
Shit, it's the United States of apathy. Everybody's apathetic. You know, that's where they're all going to hell in a handbasket.
And
Keep up with your apathy, you find out where it goes. My people have been doing it since 1492. Look where it led us. We've been apathetic since 1492 and gotten us nowhere.
right.
But now Americans are doing it. United States of apathy.
Well, I know we can't make world decisions, but what we can try and take steps within our sphere of influence and within the space that we live in to really try and make a difference.